Hello, Libra. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, my dear Librans, my cosmic scales of justice, I'm going to do a general reading for you. We're going to try to look into your blind spot. It could be something like just deeper information about something that you already know that's going on in your life. It could be something that's coming towards you or you're going towards it that you're not aware of quite yet. There's lots of different ways this can come out. So that's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to use the energy, or that's interesting. That's really interesting when I connect that with the singing bowl, because I did the singing bowl before I came into your reading just to kind of clear the energy. And it's like there's all this balance around you, which is really great. It's great Libra energy. It's hitting the singing bowl. Everything was wonderful. And literally, I'm just going to show you what happened. Like, typically, I will hit it where there's the velvet strip. You know, you kind of get that sound. And I don't stare at the bowl and think about where I'm going to make contact. I just do it randomly. And then all of a sudden, there was, I think, 2 or 3 like that were really nice. Everything seemed fine. I'm not really getting anything unusual out of the energy. And then the wooden part hit it. And it was even worse than that. I think because I sort of held back, I knew I was going to do it in this instance. But when I was just randomly doing it, I had no idea that that's where I was going to connect. It was so strong and so high-pitched, and it hurt. And then the next one was nice. And it almost gave me this feeling of kind of being surrounded by a lot of balanced energy, but there's just that one, there's that one bad apple in the bunch. Then, even a bad tomato. Anytime you buy a batch of anything, or peaches or plums, it's just one that sits in there. It's like finding it. Oh, and there you are, and pulling it out. I don't know what that could be for you, but it was really unusual. So we're gonna start with the Energy Oracle deck. I'm gonna go into my Fountain Tarot, and then I'm gonna go into the teeny tiny Everyday Witch Tarot. Yeah. That's what I gotta say. It's general, so it may or may not resonate. If it does and you're drawn to it, there is going to be an extended. The link to that will be at the top of the description within this video. That's really funny. I have a song going through my head too as I sat down to do your reading. It's a really unusual song for a reading. It's Michael Jackson's Thriller. And you could be thinking, well, Halloween is coming. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't really think that I've listened to that song in a while, so I don't think it's going through my head in a way that, I've heard it and now it's kind of playing around in there. Creatures crawl in search of blood to satisfy them. It's kind of like walking, like it just has that sense, right? If I think about that song, walking amongst the dead. So really, oh, now that's all coming together for you. Okay. With the singing bowl, this may not be actually like physical individuals around you. It could be even just a bunch of spirit guides. You could have spirit guides, ancestral guides. Feels really, really strong. And one of them is not singing in the same tune as everyone else. So it could be a little bit like having guides that are sort of all there to support you. But one isn't, I don't know. It almost feels like one is like the bad apple in the bunch. Maybe you have a guide that needs to be appeased in some way. I don't know. So, well, let's just see. I mean, it may not even connect to the rest of the reading, but it's kind of interesting. All right, what's the blind spot for Libra here? The blind spot for Libra. Blind spot for Libra. Blind spot for Libra. And here we are in your, that's an awful lot. Going to be like a storybook. Goddess of the Moon, woman holding a coin, 6th chakra, door to romance, blossoming abundance, and caring connection. Wow, what is going on here? It's just been like, what would I say? Like kind of like love is in the air energy. Like a sour face. Sometimes I watch my videos, like love is in the air. Sour face. Attachments at the bottom, and that's it. I'll look at that in a minute. Goddess of the Moon, woman holding a coin, 6th chakra, door to romance, blossoming abundance, caring connection. Each one of these is going to need a tarot card. Your blind spot. Okay. What I see here is interesting. You connecting on some sort of a spiritual level. Connecting on some sort of a spiritual level, and it is guiding you towards an opportunity, like a physical opportunity in your life. So it's guiding you to an opportunity that may have something to do with monetary gain, with your physical abundance in your world. Really, really getting that. Like you're guiding yourself there. It's quite interesting because you have like double intuitive, psychic, third eye kind of energy right here. Well, it's really combining your third eye with your psychic capacity. And you're nestling that into something. So like a nest egg, nestling, nest egging something. Your own intuition is serving you right now in a way to guide you to your physical abundance, it's like taking your physical path here on earth. And it's really, really good energy for you. Now, this is almost the case. So this is what we call it, like your blind spot, what you don't see coming. Because both, look at this. This is, you see this. I feel like you're aware of this, of what you're doing. Both these psychic third eye energies are focused on this woman holding a coin. So you have some sort of focus on yourself, building up your abundance. Perhaps like it could be working on a business, working some sort of a work project, investing your money, whatever that could be. If you're just kind of going, you know, I don't know about investing your money just on your intuition. Do a little bit of research, but there's definitely something that you're growing here. And it's showing up really good. But it's almost like you're focused on it. You don't even see what this is over here. Now, I'm not sure if this has something to do, like what's coming in, this whole spot here is your blind spot. It's a door to romance. It's blossoming abundance, and then it becomes a caring connection. So this is, this feels like a romantic connection. So anyone that wants to tune out or turn up the volume, if that's what you're here for, because I find people are really like on one side of this or the other. They don't want to hear it, or that's all they want to hear, which is really kind of funny. That in itself is kind of imbalanced. But you're having a focus here. And I like that because this comes out to a 6. So it's really about creating your physical abundance, but balance, balancing your scales. There's another scale that's going to be balanced here, and I don't think you see it. You know, look at this too. Like she's looking at the mask. So in a way, it is like a sense of self-focus. Looking at the mask, but like taking it off and looking at it. So it's looking deeply at yourself. She's chained up to something. So it's almost as if sort of coming to a realization about the ways that you perhaps limit yourself or hold yourself back in life, and taking that mask off and looking at it and really looking at it. But while you're doing that, something is building up in the background here that you almost don't see really. You don't really see it. You don't really see it. So let's pull out a tarot card. And it does seem to have something to do with a romantic connection. 3, 3, 3. And then 4 and 1 and 5, which seems difficult. Maybe this has been a difficult, like all of those energies seem difficult to me. I'm always intrigued by the fact that there is a keyhole here in the heart in the cage. So it's a little bit like finding the key. But you know, because you're chained up, so it's a little bit like, well, I'm looking for a different key right now. I'm looking for another key. So I want to say your blind spot is some sort of a romantic connection. I don't know why you have the Thriller song. That's funny. Maybe that's like, right, like one of your guides is against it, but all of the other ones are for it. There's something, it's just, I have that feeling for you right now. Wow, the Strength card. Look at that. See, you have the Strength card with Goddess of the Moon. You are really like strengthening your intuition. You're really strengthening the connection you have between your ego, your mind, and your soul, and your spirit, and everybody kind of coming into alignment and listening to one another. Woman holding a coin. The Four of Wands. Wow, you're really like, you know, whatever you're building, you're not doing it on your own, and you're not just taking yourself in it. It feels like you're including others in this celebration. You're including others in the prosperity that you are making for yourself and building and bringing forward. The 6th chakra. Oh, you have the 6 of Cups. And then this feels like where we start to go over here. 6 of Cups, soulmate energy. Okay, you might be connecting with someone already in the ethereal, and that's what's happening here. That's how that's playing out. So because you're strengthening your intuition so strongly here, your psychic capacity, you feel like you're opening up on this avenue. But because the fact that you're opening it up has different avenues coming for you. Like you're allowing different informations, different ways to connect, to come into your field. And that's it here. The 3rd chakra is like seeing what can't be seen. It's believing and imagining and fantasizing and dreaming what can't be seen. And that's the 6 of Cups. It has a sense of a soulmate connection. If it wasn't for the door to romance, I would say this could go either way. It could just be like a soulmate, like a really grand friend that you're going to have and you're going to take through life here. But this feels like different. It doesn't feel so platonic. So door to romance, the 6 of Coins, blossoming abundance, the Death card. Oh, how perfect is that? This is like winter and spring. Caring connections. Ooh, the Queen of Wands. The bottom, well, that was funny. The bottom, we have the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Coins. I feel like there's really, okay. I feel like this is such a blind spot for you because I don't know, maybe it doesn't seem like there's any viable opportunities around. But however that is, because it just feels like with the 5 of Swords, it doesn't feel like there's really any road that's winnable for you. So the best thing to do is to focus on the self, the 9 of Pentacles. Focus on your abundance. It doesn't feel like a selfish energy. It really feels like you're taking others with you on this. I don't know if that's friends or colleagues, however this is playing out, or family members specifically. But the best road for you is a road that does really have a lot to do with your own sovereignty. But because you're utilizing your intuition here, you're opening up an avenue that you may not have opened otherwise. You may have completely missed this, but you're opening yourself up energetically to it. The door to romance, so it has a lot to do with equality here, with the 6 of Coins. And that's what I feel like you're creating, though, with the woman holding a coin. I kind of felt that energy when I pulled it out. So it is about keeping like things balanced. As much as coming in is, I don't want to say that. Well, I guess that would be a balance. As much as coming in is what is going out. But you kind of want to pay it. It feels more like nest egg. I don't feel like you're just like things are going in and out. Things are going in and out. If it feels like that now, I really see a correction in that here for you. But this just feels like something big that maybe will become something even bigger. Like it feels like it's really contained. It almost reminds me of, you know, when you buy those helium balloons and they're in that bag, that clear bag, to keep them all from flying away. So it's something very uplifting, but it's sort of grounded and held down a little bit. It's contained, but it really, like, it has so much hope and light energy behind it. It just really feels like helium balloons ready to take off. And it does have a takeoff energy here, really. Because, I mean, look at it. We go from, like, the death card into spring. So the rebirth. And it's just beautiful. It almost feels like the right environment, the right conditions for all of the seeds to start germinating and growing and sprouting and coming forward. I like this too, because it feels like all of the things from your past have, if not yet, over here when this happens, this starts to happen, they become the nutrients. They become the decomposition, things from your past that have decomposed, and they become the building blocks of a new beginning with this blossoming abundance, because that's exactly what's needed. So these things from the past have to become the fertilizer for your new beginnings. And in carrying connection and the Queen of Wands, there's a real sense of freedom and self-expression. It's a very sexy energy. It's very sexy. It's very exciting. It's very free-spirited. It's sunny. It's just like glowing with the sun above your head, and it feels warm. That's how I would describe this. This feels very, very warm. Oh, and look at, what's interesting is she's holding like a bouquet of flowers, but the bouquet of flowers is not really kind of ready at this point. It's growing. These flowers are not ready to be picked. So then this becomes, when something is ready to be picked, that's like the harvest. The door starts to open, the nutrients is applied, and then you experience the harvest, and it's very empowering with the Queen of Wands. This is a really nice energy, this blind spot for you. And it's almost seems like, because maybe you really aren't putting anything into it consciously. So your subconscious, your psychic capacity is working, co-creating with the universe and something else here. And I think that's when we really probably function at our best. If your frequency is really like at a good level, and maybe even that's what like part of the singing bowl was, is busting through on something or being really strong in points where you need to be strong, and then just letting things flow again. Like really serving the energy that comes towards you in the situations you find yourself in. Just being in the moment, sort of being in the moment. Let's look at the helium balloons. It's uplifting. Maybe that's the key here. That's the first step. It's uplifting. Something feels light. Something feels light, but it doesn't get away from you because the helium balloons are wrapped up in the package. The helium balloons and the door to romance. The helium balloons and the door to romance. Oh, yeah, this light. Well, it goes light. It's funny. It's the Five of Cups, and I kept looking at it as the Nine of Cups. There's the first. Oh my God, there's the balloons. Oh, okay. Check this out. There's balloons in the background there. So the Five of Cups, person is kind of saddened by the past, saddened by things that didn't work out. It's as if once you move past that point, you look and you see the balloons. You see, oh, well, the celebration isn't over. The celebration isn't over. And then look at you come in with the Lovers and the Page of Cups. That's really light. That's really light. That's really exciting. Well, what is one of the things that helps balloons rise if you don't have helium is hot air. Look at that. Look at the fire. The hot air coming up from the fire. Ah, all right. Okay, so connections for you in the past were based more on a helium. And if we think about that, helium doesn't last forever. And we really don't have helium within us. We have to go somewhere. Someone who has it in a tank could put it in there for us. So it's almost as if needing outside sources in the past to keep something elevated, to keep a connection elevated. But this is what you generate on your own. Well, perhaps you and this person. Well, that would be equal too. That would be equal. Like having like the same sort of warmth and passion and desire. And even creative excitement and romance with the Page of Cups. And the heat of that. That feeds, like that's something that you can utilize all the time. So these balloons don't collapse. This uplifting energy doesn't come down. You just have to feed your natural passion, your natural joy, love, expression into it, and the balloons rise again. Like you always have your own element to make this rise. Where in the past, they were helium and they had to be contained. Maybe it could have been more up and down too, where either it was all contained or it was all in the air. This is like getting into a hot air balloon now with that. Blossoming Abundance and the Death card. Blossoming Abundance and the Death card. Blossoming Abundance and the Death card. It's kind of interesting. Looking at that, wow, is reminding me of the Thriller song. There's a skull, there's dead trees, kind of like that Ichabod Crane feeling. The Three of Swords, totally. But this is the end of heartache. This is the end of heartbreak. The end and the cycle, the new cycle is beautiful and uplifting. And I think it has so much hope because you have the element, you and someone else have the element to always keep this balloon in the air. Caring Connection and the Queen of Wands. There's that Nine of Cups that I thought I was already seeing. The Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Cups. Oh, look at that. Okay. So this is a change in situation. The Nine of Cups is the biggest for me in that card is like self-sovereignty in your happiness. So other people are not responsible for your happiness and you're not responsible for other people's happiness. So this with the helium balloons is this is an outside source responsible for keeping the balloon up. So there could have been some sort of codependency involved in the past, either for you or other people or back and forth, where that is not what this is, Libra. This is about both these people are equally putting in what needs to be put in to keep the balloon rising. And you know, some people have good days and some people have bad days. So, and you know, you can pick up for someone if you're in a connection, if they're having a bad day, it's like, don't worry, I'll do dishes, you put your feet up. Like that kind of energy, and then vice versa. It plays back and forth. Libra, this is really an interesting reading. So this is about going from small helium balloons to a great big hot air balloon that can be kept up by really just the natural energy that you have and the natural energy that someone else has. Oh, that's funny. This card was at the bottom when I showed you the deck before I shuffled the Eight of Swords. So the bottom, we have the Eight of Swords and the Chariot, and then it's reversed. It's almost as if this is not the time to move. And it really isn't, because I don't know what this is for you. It could be something that you're still bound to. Or it's just a psychological binding. But this is your blind spot, so you don't see it. It's not the time to move, but it's literally the next step after that is the time to move with the Chariot. Pick your direction, this way or that way. I think the path will be easy for you to follow. This doesn't seem like difficult energy. That's what I got, Libra. Thank you so much, my friends. I'm going to go do the extended. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.